Welcome guys to today's video. Today is going to be something special. It's going to be Matthew and Jackson Storm with us today going up to Cal Speed. Going to be my second time, Matthew's fifth time, whatever, and Jackson's second time going up there as well. We're going to tear it up in the rental karts for sure. Just getting some experience in, as I'm planning to do around 7 of their sprint series up in Cal Speed. So I'm going to need all the training I can get. So let's get going, baby. We made it. We made it. 30-minute wait now because they moved kid carts ahead of us. Matthew is right here. Say hi, Matt. This is Jackson Storm, baby. Caught in 4K. The goal here is for Matthew not to eat too much curb. Jackson, don't suck. We're gonna do great.
My own space program, I'll be fine.
As we start the first session, we are right behind Jackson. And the whole goal for this event was just to get used to how the kart feels, how the new layout's going to be, everything like that. This was completely new waters for all three of us, as on the track layout we've never driven it before. As we head on out, we're going to tuck in right behind the 37, and we're going to go out and go through the bypass corner. This corner is always a little hard for me. I know I can go farther the wall, but I end up not going to. As we're coming down the hill, down the front straightaway, we're gonna tuck in with Jackson, and he kind of moves out, and I'm like, ooh, that's not really gonna work out. And we tuck in again and follow him right through this guy. The 37 goes right past us, and we're gonna follow Jackson down the hill. Now, I'm just gonna use him as the brake for this corner. Pretty much, I just stay on his rear bumper and shove him way past then he needs to brake. We can make the pass done. There's Matthew, and we're going to try to make it around the 37. Don't have the momentum, so we're going to tuck in right behind him. As I look for a move down the inside, not really a passing zone. I kind of get on the brakes here. Later in the session, you kind of see where I get off the brake there. You don't really need a brake there. We go down the inside of the 37, and we are now going to tuck in behind Matthew. This is George, one of the guys that we met out there. George and Jacob, who you guys will probably see later in the video, Jacob being in the all-red suit. Super cool guys. If you guys are watching this, I hope you guys are doing well, and we really need to plan another trip out. As I tuck in right behind Matthew, I ice skate again through the straightaway corner, as I have one of the guys tucked up right behind me. I'm thinking that's the 37. I get a nice little shove, leave the space there for him, and not enough curb over there, as I take a lot of curb right over in the carousel section, leaving the door wide open for the 37 again. You guys will probably see him later in the video as well. As we head down the hill, we are going to try to follow him through, and we get close, but he ends up overtaking Matthew, or almost overtaking Matthew, and not me instead. We're going to follow right behind the boys, tuck in, and figure out what's a good overtaking opportunity. I learned later in the session you can go wider where the 37 was, and I got more comfortable doing that, but for now I wasn't really there all yet. We overtake Matthew, who overcooks that corner. Into the braking zone we go. I didn't want to grab too much curb over there, which I'm glad I didn't, as I leave the space open for Blue Helmet over here, and I just kind of ice skate out of the way, so he's going to tuck in right behind me. We're going to fast forward a little bit and see what happens later in the session, actually, because it got a little bit more interesting, especially for it being the first session. Fast forward, we are behind the number 20, I think that's 32, and I don't know about y'all, but for me, I'm not suited up. I'm not suited and booted. I'm literally just rocking a sweatshirt and pants and Vans and a pair of gloves. And to go out here and race against people who are fully kitted out and see that I have a little bit of an upper hand against them makes me feel really confident, but then also I pretty much got dropped in the third session. You guys will see that later in the video, but I got destroyed. It definitely shows you when you get a not so good kart, you get demolished. As we start coming down the straightaway into the S's, I'm really trying to work my S's, as I was kind of struggling with them all day, and even previously at the last Cal Speed trip we ended up doing. It's just a set of corners I'm just struggling at. as we head down into the hairpin. Braking, everyone says I'm braking a little too early for that, and I can get back on the power sooner. So definitely going to try it out the next time I go, especially during this session. There's Jacob, who we just passed. We are going to tuck in right behind the 56. Now this guy, I don't know what he was wearing, but it looked like pajamas. To be honest, dude, I don't know what your name was. I don't know who you are, but it looked like you were wearing pajamas, or like jail suit. It was very interesting. As we're going to overtake him into the bypass section, getting nice and early on the brakes, we see Rental Helmet, and we are going to try to overtake him down the straightaway, which we do is nice and side by side with him. We are going to overtake as one of the guys. I think the instructors lets us by. I can see where I'm like not getting enough of the S's, especially on the left-hander. You want to be, everyone says you want to be on that curb. I'm not on that curb. I'm really close to the curb, but I'm not on it. And then for the right-hander, you want to get curb. As I'm being shoved by Pajama Man, he pretty much just shoots me way out wide. There's Jackson right there. Pajama Man, not happy with a move I made, maybe into the bypass section. He was not happy with me at all. So we're going to follow him through, and I'm kind of lifting because they're kind of slow through here as we get a nice coat of paint on the tires. And there goes Jacob. He overcooks it again, and we're going to follow right behind Pajama Man, looking down the inside. Nope, not going to do it. He overshoots it. I'm trying to keep at least one tire into the paint. That's usually my goal. As we head out of the bypass section, I'm just not feeling it hooked up. He goes out really wide, and I'm looking to see if I can get a bump draft from anyone. We're nice and close. As we head into the S's, we're still somewhat close, as I get a huge shove. Just knocked me so hard, I was wondering, who was that? Who was that? And it was actually Jackson. Jackson doesn't break through the S's, he says, which is pretty surprising, as I use a lot of brake, especially on the right-hander of the S's. Give him a little finger for my displeasure after getting pummeled. Definitely not happy with him. As we head back down into this little right-hander here, and I'm trying to get the run on him, trying to get the overtake on him, as the guy was pretty quick. Pajama Man, you were not slow, but I definitely felt like you were in my way. As we go into the brakes, I screw up. I moved a little bit under braking, and I end up looping out. It just felt like a complete butt. Felt like such a goon, and definitely not one of my proudest moments. And that pretty much was my first session done and dusted. It went okay, but it could have gone better in my opinion, but I'll take it. I'll take it. This is the second session, and I decided I'm going to pick kart number 55 because I figured, why not? This will probably be a really good kart, and I like changing it up. I will never use this kart ever again after what happened in the third session. So we're going to go out, and we have already talked with Jacob and George and a couple other people. We were going to lay back and let the slower people in that little group of ours pass, while the faster guys were going to hang back. As we hang back, you guys if you guys watched my first Cal Speed video, the guy in the like lime green helmet, you guys probably remember him. He went to let me by, and instead I looped it. I can't remember your name, but if you are watching, thank you, dude. You're a really cool guy. I definitely like racing with you. I hope I get to see you at round 7. As we pass everyone, pretty much the plane goes out the window because no one remember what we were talking about. We're going to go out and just try to nail the lap. I've been struggling all day with hitting the S's. As we overtake the 43 into the hairpin section, into the brakes, bada bing, bada bam, you already know who it is, out of my way. We hooked up the lap pretty much. We were just trying to go out, making sure that we keep the guys behind, making sure that I nail some of the laps. Jacob was definitely giving me some tips and tricks, especially right through here. I'm not going farther right to get to the paint, and I need to try to do that because that's where he's catching me. As we're catching up with George, he is going to take a very wide line and just overshoots and slides out. Put my hand up, and here comes Jacob as I just get really close to his rear bumper, and I'm sliding. 55 is a slippery kart, and this pretty much is how the race went, just sliding around trying to catch drifts. I'll show you even more how the second session went. As we see someone lose their neck brace, actually, which is pretty interesting. This is later on in the lap. Kind of gotten a little bit of everything figured out. Kind of figured out very little steering inputs on 55, and trying not to overdrive the kart as best you can. As we try to make a move on the 36 down the inside, I'm thinking, ooh, maybe this will be a double overtake. As the 57 runs out wide, down the inside we go. Nice clean overtake over the curb just a little bit. There is Jacob trying to defend from him. As I get into the brakes and try to wrap around the bypass section well. Go through down the hill, here we come. Trying to pick up the pace, and I know I'm not doing too hot, but I'm just trying to get my head down and making sure I can keep Jacob behind one, and also realize like kind of where I'm going slower at than all the other people, so make an overtake outside of the carousel section. I'm gonna let you guys listen in and just watch the rest of the session pretty much. Trying to catch back up with Jacob. He's gonna let us on by. I'm gonna tell him to give him a push. He doesn't want it, so we're just gonna take it nice and easy. Get it all hooked up. So as we go through the carousel section, we're gonna come down the hill, looking back to see where he is. Don't see him yet. We go into the braking into the hairpin corner. Still nothing. Now later in the race, I should have tried to extend the exit a lot more, because then there's Jacob. He's able to use all of the exit and overtake us. As we head down into the little right-hander, following the same line, he overshoots it a little bit and cuts across my front bumper. We're going side by side up the hill, down into the big braking zone. Who will outbrake each other? I end up braking first, and he just covers me off down on the inside. I was really hoping that I could be the last of the late breakers, because I was wearing my Danny Ricciardo jacket, but not today. As he gets a way better exit through bypass than I do. 55, I don't know why I picked this kart twice, but it was really hard to push it when you wanted to. It was a very hard kart to push, and you'll see that in the third session. I definitely overdrive it, and that ends up screwing up my lap time. As we head down the hill, I'm catching back up, and I'm going to try to make a move, and going to stick right behind him. And this is pretty much how my third session is going to end up, pretty much behind Jacob, struggling with the kart's handling ability. Maybe it's just me, as this was my first time at the layout, my second time here. Probably definitely over pushing the kart if I'm trying to keep up with someone who's definitely a little faster than I am. But this was my second session. Trying to keep up with Jacob the whole time. Definitely one of the harder things to do. Third session, here we go. The one you guys have all been waiting for. This session was the hardest for me. Out of all the times I've gone so far, this was the hardest race for me. As we head down the hill, trying to catch up with traffic, we're going to tuck in right behind Jacob. We go down into the bypass corner. I tried to take it nice and wide to get some more momentum, but doesn't really help out. I'm not able to get the momentum I need. I'm getting closer and closer and closer and closer right to the back bumper of Jacob. We turn in for the corner, get into his bumper just a little bit. I grab a lot of curb, way too much curb in fact, as I have one of the instructors go around the outside of me, goes over the curbing, and I have one more helmet. As we go into the braking zone, the instructor is going to go underneath George. I'm going to go underneath George, and the other guy is going to go on my inside. I'm going to defend, try to keep up with the instructor and with Jacob. as we head down the hill into the low right-hander. And they just dropped me. Absolutely dropped me. I'm now looking to see where everyone is, because I don't want to cut anyone off. We head into the braking zone, trying to get a little bit of curb there. Jacob runs extremely wide. I try to go down the inside. Nope. Make decent contact with him. As we come down the last corner, I'm trying to keep it nice and in a straight line. As the instructors pull off, it is now just Jacob and I. We are going to follow through, get as little curb as we can right there. Way too much curb right on the right hand side, which doesn't set you up pretty good. So you need to nail that line, I need to nail it. We come down the hill. Trying to keep up with Jacob as best we feasibly can. He is still really far, and he's a really good driver. No matter what car he was in, he was able to hold it down. We head down up the hill, and we're going to try to wrap these corners as best we can. I'm thinking about a move down the inside. There we go. Into the brakes. Able to get the move done. He's going to give me a little run on the inside. Going to try to scoot. Going to run defensive as it screws me up. As we head down into here, I end up giving him a little bit of bump, and I spin someone out after looping myself out, feeling like such a goon after I did a little bit of contact, and it just wasn't the best. I'm going to pretty much stop talking and let you guys watch the rest of the video. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 50 subscribers by July, so let's do it, guys.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Dude, I didn't mean to take you out on the straightaway.
No, you didn't. I don't think you hit me. I don't even, you hit me a little, but I
got super loose coming out, and I tried to correct it, and then I just felt a touch, and I looked back, and I just saw you spinning, and I was like, oh.
Going 3 wide there is my error.
Oh, dude, it was 3 wide. I didn't know it was 3 wide. I just was like, all right, you know what, go for it. But I was just suffering from traction the whole time.
Yeah, it's all good. You were really catching me in the S's anyway. I don't know what the heck I was doing there.
I think what would happen is you would take not enough curve on the left-hander, and then you would go for the right-hander and just go super wide, and then wouldn't set you quite up for the...
Yeah, I just had a hard time with that. That's been my problem.
You guys were on the move. Congratulations. I fell back a little bit.